Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a murder suspect is moved into custody in Victoria County.
The controversy over hemp-derived THC has lawmakers at odds this summer. Who's pushing for a complete ban and what safer alternatives are being considered?
Plus, the Charlie Kirk shooting suspect is caught, how authorities tracked him and took him into custody after the deadly attack.
Well, it's Football Friday night. We'll be talking about your football weather, and we'll take a look at the weekend, too. Temperatures will not feel very fallish, but we'll talk about it coming up.
And Victoria East hosts the BISD Fall Classic held at Colony Creek. We'll highlight today's top team individual scores and hear from some of the top golfers later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry.
And I'm Don Brubaker. The suspect in an August shooting in Victoria is now behind bars. 31-year-old Charles Brazil of Yoakum was wanted in connection with the death of 23-year-old Tyler Gomez outside business on Lone Tree Road. U.S. Marshals caught Brazil last week in Brownsville. He's now in the Victoria County Jail on a $500,000 bond. Authorities say the quick arrest was thanks to a team effort between local police, U.S. Marshals, and the FBI.
A deadly wrong-way crash on U.S. Highway 59 in Jackson County is under investigation. Troopers say around 6 Wednesday evening, a Chevy Malibu was traveling south in the northbound lanes. Several drivers managed to swerve out of the way, but the car eventually hit a Tesla Cybertruck head-on. The Malibu's driver, 47-year-old Amber York of Rockport, died at the scene. The Tesla's driver, 41-year-old Brandon Brickley of Houston, was taken to a Houston area hospital and later released.
A Victoria man is facing charges out of both Bexar and Victoria counties. Police arrested 35-year-old Jeffrey Williams early this morning after responding to an assault call. Williams was wanted in Bexar County for indecency with a child by sexual contact. In Victoria, he's also charged with assault causing bodily injury in a family violence case. Williams is in the Victoria County Jail with bond set at $62,500.
Victoria County leaders say an update is coming soon on repairs to J2 Ranch Road. The road was badly damaged during construction of the New Hickory solar farm when heavy equipment traveled it daily. For more than a year now, there has been back and forth over who should cover the cost, the county or the solar company. Precinct 4 Commissioner Kenneth Sexton says he is meeting with New Hickory Solar next week, and if all goes well, repairs could start shortly after.
3 Yoakum firefighters took part in the San Antonio 110 9/11 Memorial Climb Thursday. Mario Juarez, Isaiah Riebling, and Wesley Bordowski made the climb to pay tribute to the 343 New York City firefighters who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. 343 tags were carried for each of the fallen firefighters up the stairs of the Tower of the Americas. They climbed the stairs twice to reach the 110 floors of the World Trade Center to pay tribute to each. In the Crossroads tomorrow, another tribute to the first responders who lost their lives on 9/11. The 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb takes place from 9 to 11 tomorrow morning at Sand Crab Stadium in Port Lavaca. Everyone is welcome to join Calhoun County first responders as they walk and climb the equivalent of the 110 stories of the World Trade Center. Football and heat mix once again on a Friday night.
And they'll mix tomorrow morning for that stair climb as well.
Absolutely.
So let's go to Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez for a first look at just what kind of temperatures and humidity we're looking at.
Yes, it was very nice at the beginning of the week when we had a little touch of fall weather, but we're back to kind of the summer stuff. Interesting to note that while we were high and dry today, look at that. They're getting shower activity down as close as Beeville and Three Rivers pretty much all day long. We'll be talking about that, how long it will last, and probably mid-90s is what we're going to be looking at for a while. We'll have that and your football forecast coming up in a moment.
Mac, thank you. DPS troopers in Texas have helped arrest over 3,000 people here illegally across the state this year. The Texas Tribune reports Texas DPS is shifting its focus from the border toward aiding the Trump administration's mass deportation crusade. About 88% of the people arrested were picked up on suspicion of violating federal immigration laws like improper entry into the country. Texas DPS has moved some of its troopers and investigators onto what they call strike teams that work with federal agencies across Texas. A big political battle is brewing in Texas over THC products.
The fight between the state's two top leaders has left businesses and lawmakers divided. 25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman joins us with more.
The controversy over hemp-derived THC heated up this summer at the Texas Capitol. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has been pushing for a complete ban, saying THC products are dangerous and even deadly for children. But Governor Greg Abbott has taken a different stance. Instead of outright ban, he believes lawmakers should strengthen age restrictions and provide safer alternatives. The clash started in June when Governor Greg Abbott vetoed Senate Bill 3, and Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick expresses how we need to protect our children from this harmful product.
If we don't pass a bill that regulates hemp and marijuana, then the status quo continues in those 8,000 shops, and they keep selling all this poison, and kids keep getting sick, and parents keep losing their children, and people walk out in front of trains and people shoot somebody.
The second special session failed to produce a compromise, keeping THC legal in Texas for now. Just days ago, Abbott signed an executive order tightening restrictions. His order bans the sale of hemp products to anyone under 21, requires retailers to verify IDs, and directs state agencies to crack down on enforcement. The new order also impacts vaping. Both THC and nicotine vapes are now banned in the state of Texas. The fight isn't over. Lawmakers are expected to revisit the issue in the next legislative session, meaning the future of the THC in Texas is still up in the air. Shauna and Dawn, back to you.
Texas education officials are clearing up confusion about the new parental consent law. In updated guidance sent to schools Thursday, they say nurses can still handle the basics like giving out Band-Aids or checking a student's temperature. To read this full Texas Tribune article, come to crossroadstoday.com. And here's a look at our viewer poll tonight. Do you think the parental consent law will make it harder for students to get timely care while they're at school? We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote. And so far, 64% of voters say no, 35% say yes. It may be harder for students to get timely care, 1% not sure. Continue voting. We'll have another look at these numbers on 25 News Now at 10. Authorities say they have arrested a suspect in the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The suspect is 22-year-old Tyler Robinson of Utah. Investigators say he confessed to a family member before being taken into custody Thursday night. Today, officials shared more evidence, including app messages and surveillance images. Kirk was shot in the neck and killed Wednesday while speaking at Utah Valley University. Lawmakers from both parties are expressing concerns for their own safety after the shooting death of Charlie Kirk.
Karen Kaif is at the White House with what President Trump has to say about their concerns and his own.
In an interview with Fox and Friends on Friday morning, President Donald Trump said that his son Don Jr. had suggested to the president that the 31-year-old conservative activist Charlie Kirk was like another son to President Trump. And in response to lawmaker concerns about safety in the wake of Kirk's shooting death, Trump suggested that the risk comes with the job. Kirk's assassination at a campus event at Utah Valley University in Utah on Wednesday sparked shock from both parties because Kirk was killed doing something members of Congress do all the time: interacting with people in public spaces and engaging in freewheeling conversations that sometimes become heated.
I like being accessible, but being accessible is starting to look like being vulnerable.
The numbers tell the story. It is much more dangerous than it used to be.
House Speaker Mike Johnson said Thursday there would be serious conversations about more protections for lawmakers outside the security of the U.S. Capitol. It's a topic that will grow even more important as campaigning for the 2026 congressional midterm elections ramps up. Asked by the hosts of Fox and Friends Friday morning about lawmakers hesitant to put themselves in public forums right now, Trump said the job comes with risk.
Got to do your thing, or get out of the business and go into something else. It's a dangerous business, and frankly, it always has been. It always has been. My job is very dangerous. If you would have told me this, maybe I wouldn't have done it, Brian.
President Trump was the target of 2 assassination attempts during the 2024 presidential campaign. After Trump said there was a suspect in custody on Friday morning, officials confirmed the arrest of a 22-year-old man in Kirk's shooting. Trump also said he'll attend Charlie Kirk's funeral next week. At the White House, I'm Karen Kafa.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, fake school threats spark lockdowns, how law enforcement across the country is responding to hoax shooting alerts at colleges.
Plus, a community comes together after a high school shooting.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Victoria Bach Festival, the Victoria Ballet, Victoria Transit, and Uniting Hearts.
Like Stephanie Cadengo with Faith Family Church. She's the outreach director. They're bringing Faith Family Church praise and worship. So she'll be introducing that group as well as giving her message on Uniting Hearts, because each of the guest speakers, they do a 15 to 20-minute message, and the theme is Uniting Hearts.
Met privately this week with HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The company reportedly tried to dissuade him from linking acetaminophen use in pregnancy to autism. HHS is studying possible causes of autism, and a report is expected later this month. Kenvue, the maker of Tylenol, calls the drug safe and says it was a scientific exchange, while HHS says such meetings are routine. College campuses nationwide are on high alert today after several schools were targeted in swatting incidents yesterday.
Several of those schools are historically black colleges and universities facing hoax threats of racially motivated shootings. ABC's Christian Cordero has the details from Washington.
Today, at least a dozen schools from coast to coast are working with law enforcement to figure out who sent in fake threats yesterday targeting students, triggering lockdowns, sending law enforcement onto college campuses with guns drawn.
They told us all to not go to classes, stay inside the dorms. So it was scary.
Several of the targeted institutions are historically black colleges and universities in what officials describe as hoax threats of racially motivated shootings. Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida, went on lockdown yesterday, sending faculty home, telling students to shelter in place, and closing its campus. And classes are still canceled today at Southern University in Louisiana. The FBI says it takes these threats very seriously because it puts innocent people at risk, adding it's working with local, state, and federal partners, but hasn't found any of these threats to be credible. The FBI urges everyone stay vigilant.
It's something as a student you never want to go through because, you never know what could happen.
The surge in swatting comes at a time that law enforcement officials warn is the highest threat environment since September 11th, 2001. Also yesterday, a bomb threat at the DNC headquarters on the anniversary of September 11th.
It came in through an email, message, but we're continuing to work the leads that we have to be able to hold folks accountable.
That threat was also deemed not credible, according to the DNC. Capitol Police say swatting incidents like yesterday's happen regularly. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
The Department of Justice filed a lawsuit against Uber. It charges the rideshare giant discriminated against riders with disabilities. Among the claims listed in the complaint, the DOJ says Uber drivers routinely refuse to serve individuals with disabilities. Uber says it has a zero tolerance policy for discrimination and disagreed with the allegations.
After the shooting at Evergreen High School in Colorado, people in town are finding any way to support one another.
Evan Krugel shares the story of an unexpected reunion.
In downtown Evergreen, messages of strength are practically everywhere.
Felt like I wanted to give a message, but I didn't know how.
Linda Golden brought her sign to a busy corner, hoping to catch the attention of students driving by.
Thank you. Love you. It's been a lot of, hearts and thumbs up and honks. I hope it helps them because I'm just trying to reach as many as I can. Linda Golden.
Linda knows these kids because she taught them in elementary school.
Oh my God.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
You guys.
This is not the reunion they wanted. One day after a shooting at Evergreen High School.
Yeah, it was just pretty overwhelming situation.
Wyatt Cox and his friend Brody.
I mean, I was just pretty shocked, honestly.
Were out to lunch when they heard a classmate had started shooting.
Then we dropped all the food that we were gonna buy and ran to the car, and then we came downtown. And then we went home, watched the news, and we're like, wow, this is actually happening.
The seniors spent the day grieving with friends and waiting for answers, knowing the suspect is dead, but 2 classmates were shot.
I do know of the shooter, and I don't know him personally, but even, it doesn't matter. It just hits you home, because it's where I went to school for 3 years before, and it just hits you hard. That's not home, the home that you thought it was.
Both say they're thankful this community is here for them.
I think moments like this are tough, but they bring us together. Even though this happened, the community is really we're all connected, and we're all really strong, and we're all just leaning on each other.
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah.
Linda hopes her message helps too.
It's surreal. All right, love you guys.
Thank you for being out here, Linda.
Yeah.
In Evergreen,
Wish I could hug them all.
Evan Krugel, 9 News.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Here in the Crossroads, we're looking at 87 degrees on this Friday afternoon. We managed to get up to 92 this afternoon, which is a little bit about our average temperature for this time of the year. We'll take a look at your football Friday night forecast coming up after this. Well, it's going to be a busy night in Cuero. The big game is up tonight. Yoakum Bulldogs versus the Cuero Gobblers at Gobbler Stadium. So I'm sure, the highway there is going to be pretty busy, but sunny and warm conditions and clear skies. The wind is going to be up a little bit, more than it's been most of this week. So it'll be at 10, possibly 20 miles an hour. I think that's going to help, sort of dispel the heat. And we start off the game at about 92, but get down to about 85 in the evening. So evenings are going to be very pleasant. It's just that for the next 7 days, we're going to be looking at mid-90s and not exactly fall-like weather. We, of course, this is interesting. We had relatively dry air. No, we can't say that. We had no showers around the area as the humid air is rolling back in, but just to the south of us, they had shower activity very close to our area. We, of course, are under this big dome right here of high pressure that's going to keep us generally on the drier side of no rain, but still on the humid side. Here's what I'm talking about. Here is Victoria. Look at that. Shower activity as close as Beeville and Three Rivers and Sinton and Corpus Christi. They all had rain today. We didn't have a drop. As a matter of fact, as you look at Victoria County, you can see how the shower activity was fairly significant. Aransas Pass going up to the Mathis area and all the way over to Tilden. So, you know, we were close, but no cigar in terms of any shower activity. I want to thank Terry Kinder, who sent us this video of a little hummingbird and the feeder, and they're so fast. The wings, their wings are so fast you can't see them. So you've got to be really good to get a good photograph. But there you go. And of course, it's the mass migration. They're going from Canada and North America through the crossroads. All, you know, think about this for a second. Think of how smart they are. They come through Texas, through the crossroads and down into central Mexico. Why? Because if they went straight, they'd have to fly over the Gulf of Mexico, and they know that's a big body of water and they don't want to do that. I mean, imagine going this way versus coming around this way. So if you give them a little sugar water, they should be having a good trip. In the Atlantic, we have the potential development of a tropical system here. The computer models then would take it out into the Atlantic, so not very worried about that system at all. Meanwhile, down in southern Mexico, this one's going to be a kind of a problem for them because it is going to be moving so close to the coast that they're going to get some nasty weather associated with that tropical storm. It's called Mario, and you can see how it's going to be right there. There's portions of the Mexican coast that are already under a hurricane advisories down there. So we take a look. This is the dome of high pressure that's going to be over us for the next 3 or 4 days. We don't see any real change. Then middle of next week, we start getting a little bit lower pressure and a better chance of getting some sort of rain activity around here. So lots of sunshine and 93 for tomorrow in the coastal areas, 94 in Cuero. And your 7-day forecast, well, it's fairly quiet in the mid-90s all the way through, and then hopefully a better shot at getting some rain around here next week. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here is Shauna.
All right, it's Friday. We're just a little, not too far from 30, maybe an hour from kickoff for football.
Tick, tick, tick.
Let's go over to Max Williams for sports.
Yes, just about an hour away, and I know probably also 4 hours away from having week 3 action of our Crossroads Football Live show after our 10 o'clock show. But getting ready for everyone for that game. We got our pregame report for the Oakland Bulldogs facing the Cuero Gobblers. We'll have all that coming up next in sports. Everyone, we have reached that time, week 3 of high school football, and what's going to be our game of the week? Well, I mentioned on Monday, it's going to be the DeWitt County showdown between the Oakland Bulldogs facing the Cuero Gobblers there at Gobbler Stadium in a matter of just 30 minutes. And 25 News Now weekend sports anchor Ray Robinson is at Gobbler Stadium preview this highly anticipated clash.
Your early season CFL action brings us here to Cuero Gobbler Stadium, where in just a few hours, the Battle of DeWitt County is scheduled to get underway. And the Friday night lights are a little brighter than usual because this is the first time in a while that both teams are entering this game working in perfect synergy. I mean, just 2 years ago was when both teams entered the DeWitt County rivalry game undefeated. And today's game see both teams enter in the same situation. Cuero's first two opponents have been the cream of the crop when discussing Texas high school football. I mean, they beat Lavernia and they beat Columbus. Yoakum, on the other hand, is a team that's meaning all business in week 3. The focus is all on the field after having an early homecoming celebration and beating 2 premier Crossroads teams. And it's unfortunate that we'll only have one team come out of this game still undefeated. But the good news is it's still non-district. But make sure you tune in to the 10 p.m. and, of course, CFL Live for results, highlights. Reporting in Cuero at Gobbler Stadium, Ray Robinson, KAVU, TV 25 News Now, Sports.
All right, thanks. Right now, let's head over to where Victoria East hosted the VISD Fall Classic at Colony Creek Golf Course today. Victoria East boys and girls golf teams competed, and only Victoria West boys team competed earlier today. We had a lot of other teams from Corpus compete as well. After day 1 competition, the Victoria East boys team is in the lead with Jonas Roth, Spencer Spansky leading the way for the West boys. They're currently right there in 7th place at about 136 overall. Now for the girls team scores, Victoria East gold team of Tapp, Morris, Andrews, Hanson, and Mitchell are all there at plus 126. Now for some top individual scores, Michael Sampson, how about just a dead even for just day 1? And Spansky there and Roth also had plus 5 for Spansky, plus 7 for Roth in day 1. Now for the females, Lexus Andrus and Brandy Tapp were second in individual, scoring second and third with plus 22 there for Andrus and plus 27 there for Tapper. Even with all these scores for the golfers, Caitlin Mitchell and end of the day with the plus 56, and Jonas Roth also had fun this weekend, putting with the plus 7, and they know they want to keep improving going into day 2.
First hole and just get it out of the way and then just have fun the rest of the time with everyone else.
Senior year, I just want to, feel the team environment. There's not a lot of times when you get to enjoy golf as a team sport, so I just really want to be a part of a team this year.
Now both Mitchell and Roth are excited to begin the season, especially for Caitlin, since it's their first ever golf tournament. And hey, guess what? She played well. She knows she just wants to keep improving there going into day 2 at Colony Creek. Again, one of our own here. Probably know there with Shauna there with her daughter there competing there, Victoria East gold team. And Shauna, you got to be very proud for her just to get through the day 1 action competing in her first tournament overall.
Yeah, absolutely. She's trying something new. She's getting out there, and we have tomorrow too. So get to be out there tomorrow and watch for the full 18 holes, whereas today I had to leave a little early to be here.
Yes, best of luck to her and the team tomorrow. And we're back in a moment. A Wisconsin city wins a state honor in something important to residents. Tonight, Janesville earned the title of Best Tasting Tap Water in Wisconsin. The city won a blind taste test at the American Water Works Annual State Conference. The city's water won the title for the second time in 5 years. Janesville's water is sourced from 8 groundwater wells. If you're wondering how many people live in Janesville, about 66,000, kind of close to Victoria. Janesville will represent Wisconsin at an annual Water Works Conference in Washington, D.C., where it will compete for the title of Best Tasting Tap Water in North America.
Wow. High title right there.
Cheers to them. Yes.
I've got some family there in Janesville, so I'm going to have to give them a call. And,
Really?
Yeah,
Let
see if
them
they
know.
want to bottle it up and send it to me.
There you go. There you go.
So I can try it.
I'm surprised they haven't started bottling it up already, you know.
They will now.
Janesville water.
Yes.
It's it could be like that Fiji stuff.
Fiji
Fiji water.
Take a snapshot with those Fuji.
That's film. Anyway, folks, got a great look at the weekend. Lots of sunshine and some fairly warm weather. We're looking at mid-90s right on through, so it's not going to feel exactly like fall just yet, but it will be a good weekend. Later next week, we do pick up a better chance of getting some of those little afternoon showers. Very slight chance over this coming weekend. So have a great time.
Is this another Friday night when people need to really hydrate if they're going out to a high school football game?
Yeah, because we're still in the upper, almost 90 degrees, but you know, as soon as the sun goes down, things will be very comfortable out there.
All right.
And I'll make sure that I wear sunscreen and I stay hydrated tomorrow while I'm out walking the golf course.
There you go.
Because it'll be hot again tomorrow.
Sure. Yes. All right. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Until then, have a great evening.